The World Wide Web or Internet. World Wide Web or WWW by name the web, the leading information retrieval service of the Internet or the Worldwide Computer Network. The web gives users access to a vast array of documents that are connected to each other by means of hypertext or hypermedia links. Sinasabing ang web ay nagbibigay sa mga user to access a big size of documents na konektado sa isa't isa sa pamamagitan ng hypertext or hypermedia links. Example nito ay ang hyperlinks, electronic connections, na nag-uugnay sa mga impormasyon para payagan o bigyan ng pahintulot ang mga user upang mabilis na maka-access sa kanila. Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web in 1989. Tim Berners-Lee is a British computer scientist. He was born in London and his parents were early computer scientists working on one of the earliest computers. After graduating from Oxford University, Berners-Lee became a software engineer of CERN, the Large Particle Physics Laboratory near Geneva, Switzerland. Scientists come from all over the world to use its accelerators, but Sir Tim noticed that they were having difficulty sharing information. Matapos niyang makapagtapos sa Oxford University, siya ay naging isang software engineer at sa CERN, isang pinakamalaking physics laboratory sa Geneva, Switzerland. Until Sir Tim noticed na mayroong kahirapan pagdating sa pag-share ng information. Tim thought that he saw a way to solve this problem, one that he could see could also have much broader applications. Already, millions of computers were being connected together through the fast-developing internet, and Berners-Lee realized they could share information by exploiting an emerging technology called hypertext. In March 1989, Tim laid out of his vision for what would become the web in the document called Information Management, a Proposal. Believe it or not, Tim's initial proposal was not immediately accepted. In fact, his boss at the time, Mike Sendall, noted the word vague but exciting on the cover. The web was never an official CERN project, but Mike managed to give Tim time to work on it in September 1990. He began work using a NeXT computer, one of the Steve Jobs' early products. So by October of 1990, Tim had written the three fundamental technologies that remain the foundation of today's web, and which you may have seen appear on parts of the web browsers. The first is HTML, or the Hypertext Markup Language, the markup or formatting language for the web. The second is the URI, or the Uniform Resource Identifier, a kind of address that is unique and used to identify to each resource on the web. It is also commonly called a URL. Third is the HTTP, or what we call Hypertext Transfer Protocols, allows for the retrieval of link resources from across the web. Tim also wrote the first web page editor or browser, World Wide Web.app, and the first web server, HTTPD. By the end of 1990, the first web page was served on the open internet, and in 1991, people outside of CERN were invited to join this new web community. In 2009, Sir Tim established the World Wide Web Foundation. The Web Foundation is advancing the open web as a means to build a just and thriving society by connecting everyone, raising voices, and enhancing participation. Our next topic is how to check the reliability of web sources. Of course, when we use different web sources, we need to check if it is reliable to avoid misinformation. The internet contains a vast collection of high valuable information, but it may also contain unreliable, biased information that mislead people. The following guidelines can help us check the reliability of web source that we gather. it is noteworthy to consider and apply the following guidelines to avoid misinformation. Number 1. Who is the author of the articles or site? How to find out. Look for an about or more about the author link at the top, bottom, or sidebar of the web page. Some pages will have the corporate author rather than a single person as an author. If no information about the authors of the page is provided, be suspicious. Does the author provide his or her credentials? What type of expertise does he or she have on the subject he or she is writing about? Does he or she indicate his or her education is? What type of expertise does he or she have? Should you trust his or her knowledge of the subject? Try searching on the internet for information about the author. What kinds of websites are associated with the author's name? Is he or she affiliated with any educational institution? We need to know we need to find out who is the author of the information that we browse. Kung walang information about the author, kailangan na natin mag-isip kung ang information ba na ito ay reliable. Number 2. Who published the site? How to find out. Look at the domain name of the website that will tell you who is hosting the site. For instance, the Lee College Library website is http://www.lee.edu/library. This tells you that the library, the domain name is lee.edu. This tells you that the library website is hosted by Lee College. Search the domain name at http://www.whois.sc/ The site provides information about the owners of registered domain names. What is the organization main purpose? Check the organization main website. If it has one, is it educational commercial? Is it a reputable organization? Do not ignore the suffix on the domain name, the three-letter part that comes after the . The suffix is usually, but not always, descriptive of what type of entity hosts the website. Keep in mind that it is possible for site to obtain suffixes that are misleading. Of course, when we search about the author, we need to find out who published the site. Kailangan nating hanapin ang domain name ng isang website upang malaman natin kung sino ang nag-host sa site. The domain name is the three-letter part that comes after the . Ang example nito ay .edu ay katumbas ng ay educational, ang ibig sabihin ay educational. Pangalawa, .com, ang ibig sabihin ay commercial. .mil or MIL na ang kahulugan ay military. .gov ay government at .org ay non-profit. Number 3. What is the main purpose of site? Why did the author write it and why did the publisher post it? We also need to know the purpose of the site. It is to sell product. It is a personal hobby. It is a public service. It is to further scholarship on a topic. Is it to provide general information on a topic? Or it is to persuade who of a particular point of view? Number 4. Who is the intended audience? Of course, also when we are writing or giving information, we need to be specific in our audience or what we call the target audience. Is it the scholar, this general public? Which our group it is written for? It is aimed at people for a particular geographic area, or it is aimed at a member of a particular profession or with specific training. Last, what is the quality of information? Timeliness. When was the website first published? It is regularly updated. Check for dates at the bottom of each page on the site. Does the author cite sources? Just as a print sources, web sources that cite their sources are considered more reliable. What type of other site does the website link to? Are they reputable site? What types of site links to the website you are evaluating? Is the website being cited by others? So with this question, we will be informed and we will have enough knowledge in getting right and reliable information in different web sources that we browse. This will be our guide to avoid misinformation. That's all and thank you.